Alright, what's up everybody? This is A7X Ben, and this is going to be the setup for the 40-point game between the American Pirates and my new Spanish variant UPS fleet. So I got limited time budget, so I'm just going to get straight into it, and we're going to see who goes first. So generally going to try to use the red die for the American Pirates fleet, and then the white for the Spanish UPS. So American Pirates get a 4. We've got a 1 for the Spanish, Franco Spanish. So American Pirates go first. They'll place the first island, 3 islands per player. So I'm going to default to standard rules. The one possible exception is that the setup might not be big enough to have 3L to 6L distance between islands. It might have to be a little closer for a couple islands, but generally it should be fine. So the American Pirates are going to start going pretty much in the center, tiny bit off center. And then looking at the fleets, the Spanish UPS fleet is probably a little slower on the average, and they can see that, so they don't want to go any more than 3L. I think either way, each island's pretty much going to be 3L apart from each other, but we'll see. So that's the Franco-Spanish first island placement. Get back to the American Pirates. And neither fleet is using any great turtles or mysterious islands, anything like that. So the island choice doesn't really have to be random. In this case, at least not in my opinion. It's still supposed to be per the official rules, but it's just going to slow things down if I roll a die for every time they try to pick an island. So we're doing flat Earth per the original rules. So yeah, the American Pirates, they're going to go about 4.5 L. Go over there, make sure it's at least 3L from this one. Yeah, it's a little more than that. All right, and then got the Franco-Spanish. So I'm going to go over here. This is the first time I'm using my new lapel microphone for video. I'm pretty excited about that actually for this year. So there's going to be other games this year I record that I'm going to have more space for, but this is kind of a test to see how things go and start things up. So I've been really looking forward to this for a while actually. So it's going to be good to play some solo 1v1 competitive. First time in a while. Maybe the first time in years, probably. So anyway, so 5th island, American Pirates are going again. They're going to try to put one down in this area that's more than 3L away. Yeah, they're going to go like 4L here, and this is more than 3. Well, it's about 3, so they'll go a little bit farther south. So, all right, and then last island's going to be 3L away from this one, placed by the Franco-Spanish here. So they're going to go, I'm going to plop it right there. So I got to get used to round Earth, or flat Earth. I mean, I'm so used to doing round. Okay, so in this case, per the official rules, instead of the house rules, I normally do the last player choose the home island location of the first player. So Franco-Spanish are going to pick where the American Pirates are going to go. So, or actually, I got to do terrain. Whoops. All right, that sounds good to me. So I was going to do 3 terrain per player. Neither fleet felt in the mood to be too picky. So I'm just going to do 3 placed each. So American Pirates go first. So to explain this a little bit, American Pirates, they know they have SAC in their fleet. So you can find the fleets in the description, and you can check them out if you want. But they know Roanoke has Captain Blackheart. So they know they can go through Whirlpool and get a guaranteed extra action coming out. So they want to place, and then they also see that the opponent's fleet has nothing bigger than 2 masts. So they're more likely to get stuck in a Sargasso Sea. The American Pirate fleet, they have Amity, and that ship also has Ghost Ship, and she's a 3-master, and then Roanoke is a 5-master. So they're going to do 2 Whirlpools and a Sargasso Sea. So they also, I'm going to get more into the island placement strategic meta in future games and future like setup videos, but on my limited time budget, I'm just not going to get into that too much. Same with like terrain meta placement. So like, what I mean by that is the Americans know the Franco-Spanish are going to pick their home island. Where do they think they're going to get picked to go? So probably in some random corner, like maybe here, maybe the Northeast. So then they might base their terrain selections on who's going first, and therefore where they think they're going to get placed for their home island. But yeah, it's a lot of conjecture or whatever. So they're not going to worry about it too much. they kind of think the Franco-Spanish will put them in either the bottom left or top right corner. So they're gonna go ahead and plop a whirlpool. They're gonna place one there for their first terrain. And then Franco-Spanish, now their turn to place a terrain. They see that the American Pirates have, on average, bigger ships. So they're gonna place reefs as a result. And then they also don't have much combat capability, and they have a UPS ship, the Soul. So I'm gonna place at least one fog bank. So they're probably gonna do 2 reefs and 1 fog bank. So you don't have to map out what terrain you're gonna place, all 3 types, of course, but I was just kind of game planning it as I zipped through the getting out fleets and whatnot. And I'm kind of thinking reefs and fog banks for the UPS fleet here. So, and then they have to anticipate where they think the American Pirates are gonna place them. So that's a tough one because they don't know each other's crew. So I've got some crew face down. The only ones face up are Perry and the American Pirate Fleet, and then Anita Amor and Princess Vowels in the Franco-Spanish Fleet, of course. So you can kind of see that over there in the deck plate area. So yeah, so I'm thinking the Franco-Spanish should probably do, I'm thinking they're going to start with a fog bank and then see how the rest of the map turns out for where they want to put reefs. But anyway, I'm going to make, like I said, I'm going to make longer videos, kind of intentionally overthinking this, if you will. So they feel like they're going to, I feel like it might be an opposite corners home island situation. And of course, now the Franco-Spanish, they can game plan. They can already know or plan where they're going to put the American Pirates. So if they know they're going to put them here, they can be like, okay, I'm going to seed that island with reefs. That kind of makes it more obvious that they're going to put them there maybe, but still. So, and then if they put them there, where do they think, based on that, the American Pirates will put them? So in that case, that's a tough one. The APs actually might go there or here because they know Roanoke wants to smash them. Both fleets know they have Hidden Cove, but they don't know each other has it because the events are face down, of course. So that's kind of a funny one too. I'm gonna plop. I don't know. This gets into a lot of game theory and kind of just overthinking. So they're gonna kind of hedge their bets and just put a fog bank kind of right here. I think in case they get a home island anywhere in the western quadrant, it's like reasonably close. I'm gonna go right there. And then, okay, so second round of terrain, American Pirates are gonna place another whirlpool. And I probably want to put it kind of on the opposite side of the map. Yeah, this will give them the most area to cover if they get put in the northeast home island. They might get put in the southeast, actually. Yeah, they might get put there now because the Franco-Spanish might think about that island now. But anyway, so reefs from the Franco-Spanish are going to be next. They could put 2 fog banks in 1 reef. They might do that. Yeah, I might go with that, actually. This Roanoke is looking dangerous. So she might be a dominant force. Either way, she's going to be a big player in the game, whether or not she's successful. So Franco-Spanish, terrain choice. They kind of want to put them there. Because even if they could place a third whirlpool, APs could put a whirlpool here. They're not planning to, but they could put another one down. So I think I'm going to put a reef somewhere in here. The problem is with the regular rules, the terrain have to be S away from each other and from islands. So it's way less likely to be relevant, but I think they're just going to put one here anyway. They're going to place it like as close as possible to these 2 pieces. Yeah, that looks fine. So second round terrain complete. Third round sees the American Pirates pick again, and like I said, I think they want to put a Sargasso down. There's so many. It's only small ships in the other fleet, so where do they think they might put them? Thinking northeast or southeast maybe, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, so I think they're just going to plop one right here, place it close to the middle, and then kind of in the way of the southeast island. But all right, so last terrain placed by the Franco-Spanish. So Yeah, they'll go with another reef. They'll try one of those. All right. It's good. You can see the whole setup here. All right. So final reef. They could seed this island even more. So now the last terrain is an interesting one to place because the Franco-Spanish know the next thing that happens is they pick the AP's home island. So they know everything. They know the exact terrain setup and can base their final choice on that. So they're kind of wary of these whirlpools. They might go southeast for the home island. It's not really in that good of a spot, arguably. The APs go first. Yeah, I don't think they want them near a whirlpool. It seems dangerous. They can also look at the Roanoke's face down crew and see that she's got 7 crew on her. So they know they got at least one that doesn't take up space. And they see a face down pirate crew and they can kind of they could at least wonder if that's Captain Blackheart. So I think they're going to go plop this reef over here. That's away from other terrain islands really makes terrain a lot less relevant. So I'll probably play some competitive games, not using standard rules, but I wanted to start with all official Wizkids rules for these full filmed games. So anyway, all right. So that looks pretty good. So now we get to the next part, which is where the Franco-Spanish choose the first player's home island location. So yeah, I'm thinking southeast. This is a decent spot, but to put them, but they kind of want them away from those whirlpools. So they could go far west, but I think it's like slightly easier access to islands there. So I think they're gonna force them to go right here. So it's gonna be the American Pirates home island. And it's important to note as soon as the home island is chosen, you place ships there right away. Or else, if you picked all home islands first and then didn't place ships until the end, there might be like jockeying for position where it's like, oh, based on where they're putting their ships, I might move mine, and then they move theirs. So let's see. Amity's pretty quick. Banshee's Cry is even faster. This fleet just got a nice speed upgrade from the Bandito. Now they've got Banshee's Cry instead. And she's going to be running Helmsman and Explorer for LLS speed. That's pretty sweet. They still are probably going to Hidden Cove Roanoke. Oh, and they know they're going first. So they can game plan their ship placement where they're docked at their home island based on what they're going to do. So if they know they're going first and they know they're going to play Hidden Cove, they also know where they're going to put the Franco-Spanish. I don't know yet, but they will. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking the Franco-Spanish, man, I think they're going to get dumped in the northeast maybe, because then they're near a whirlpool. So Roanoke could maybe slam stuff near their home island, intercept them later in the game. But also, since APs are going first, they're going to Hidden Cove out to here, I'm pretty sure. They can game plan all this. So Hidden Cove is the Nearix Unexplored Wild Island. Let me just look it up real quick just to make sure I get all the wording perfect. Yeah, reveal it being one of your turns as a free action dock one of your ships the nearest unexplored wild island or the nearest wild island with no treasure on it. So used on the first turn, they're just going to warp. They're just going to warp out. Actually, they might warp out Amity. But yeah, that island is clearly way closer. So they can Hidden Cove out here, pick up treasure, and then have Roanoke en route to defend it. So that's probably what they'll go with. Okay, so I know. Okay, I got a better idea then. In that case, MD could also warp out here and come over. See, this is where the meta gets crazy. They could plan to Hidden Cove, go this way, have Roanoke come here, but then problem is by the time it gets to the UPS fleet's turn, they see Soul. So Soul is a face-up UPS ability. Soul's got it on the ship. So unlike with other UPS fleets with Captain Jack Sparrow, it's not a face-down entity. So that really changes how they're going to approach this. So they already can see that the Franco-Spanish are basically going with the UPS fleet. So they can assume that they're going to get here with their event. If they don't know it's Hidden Cove, that you might as well assume it is, especially because it's a UPS fleet. They're probably trying to get gold as fast as possible with the UPS strategy, Universal Pirate Shipping. So based on that, they probably want to explore this island and force the the UPS fleet to go over here, which maybe the Roanoke would be able to catch up with them over there. Either way, so I think they're going to Hidden Cove Amity out to this island. Roanoke's probably going to kind of follow her on her sail power, and then Banshee's Cry, since she's the fastest ship, she's probably going to just go. She's probably just going to go due west and try to stay out of trouble and just go to that island in the southwest. So okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so that's all based on the assumption the American Pirates want to put them in the northeast, which I think they still do. So you place them here, yeah. I mean, based on how they put their ships, I guess they should. Yeah. Basically, the American Pirates, based on home island selections, they kind of want to pigeonhole the UPS fleet into going west on the north side, and then hopefully, eventually, the American Pirates can explore 3 of the 4 islands instead of just half of them. So it's good to shoot for at least half, but then you're gambling that the treasure you find will be more than half of the total contributed, which it might be less. So you want to hit at least 3 islands sometimes, but don't always need to, but whatever. So, okay. So Kaur is starting with a face down Spanish oarsman, and then the other 2 are going to go on their home island. So I'm going to put these in front here. So the reason that the Kaur is carrying Spanish oarsmen for 2 out of the 3 is that they're going to the island the Soul is docked at, and the Soul might want to use at least one of them. So I'm kind of just hedging my bets. It's kind of a have 2 oarsmen be Spanish and 1 French. And there's 2 Spanish ships and 1 French ship, so the Kaur might want one at some point, so she'll do the French one last probably, but either way. And then Monarcha is her own gold runner on her own power. Kaur wants to stay out of the way, and then Diablo is going to be towed by Monarcha, so she'll be right there. Okay, so that's the setup. So now it's got to do the coin mixing. So let's see how that goes here. So if you've seen the fleets, you know that basically 7 2s and a 1 for the American Pirates fleet, and then it's 5 0s and 3 5s for the UPS Franco-Spanish fleet. And that's because the Franco-Spanish are trying to plus up the value of those zeros so that they're worthless to the American Pirates. Hopefully they don't, assuming the American Pirates don't have gold bonus abilities of their own, which they could, but they don't in this case. And then, but the zeros will not be worthless to the to the UPS Franco-Spanish fleet. So, all right, I don't know where these are, so go for. Actually, I'm gonna mix these a tiny bit more. So just 4 there, 4, 4. Okay, so the setup is complete, and that's where everything's going to be. So get the chess timer going, and then we'll see what happens. All right, just about ready to play. I know I didn't explain the +5 choices from the 0 limit ransom +5 crew, but basically it'd be pretty simple. I think each fleet would just add their events and like a 3-point crew or whatever, or a 2 and a 1-point crew. So I think in future competitive games it'll be more of a meta with that. But like I said, for this first one, I'm going to keep it a little more simple. So, all right. So I've also moved the chess timer because I realized I was going to have to be reaching like way over just to touch it. So I think this will be better. And it's probably a little more visible too. I can always move it out of the way if the southwest corner gets busy, but that'll probably be a dead area anyway. So just pretend it's out of play. So each fleet has 30 minutes to complete their turns in the game. If the time runs out, that fleet automatically loses. And in the future, I'm going to do some experiments where I time the individual turns as well. Like they might have an overall time for the game and like 2 minutes per turn that they can't eclipse. But for now, I'm just going to do a basic chess clock. And this is the first time I'm using it, so I'm really excited. So we're going to have on the left, we're going to have the American Pirates. And then on the right is going to be the Spanish UPS fleet. And basically ready to go. So This is gonna be wild. Never done this, so let's see what happens. So I'm gonna start the timer, and here we go. So gotta get moving. So Roanoke reveals Helmsman. So they're just gonna do a couple crew reveals. Banshee's Cry as a helmsman as well, and they're gonna do what they said, flip Hidden Cove. So this event allows you to warp out one of your ships to the nearest unexplored island or island without treasure on it, which we've already seen is going to be this one. And then she's going to redock and explore. So she's going to come out this way. She's going to just move S+S, redock, and then she's going to reveal that she has an explorer crew. So she's going to take a gander at these coins. So we'll show them to you. But so this is one thing about playing solo is like the Spanish UPS fleet doesn't see this, obviously. So I just have to keep that in mind and not have a bias or anything. So they have no idea what's getting looked at here. So we got 6 gold total. So remember, more than half wins. So they're looking to get 16. So it's an average of what, 7.5 per island. So I guess you could say it's a slightly below average island. And they've got a 0. They don't have any bonuses. They didn't know there were going to be any zeros. So this tips the American Pirates off that there's going to be probably gold bonuses abilities in the UPS fleet, which they're not surprised by that at all. Seeing the soul and knowing that it's a UPS, she's got that ability. So Amity has space for those 3 coins. She's going to take all 3. And hopefully my explanations don't make the clock run out too fast. But anyway, so put the Explored Island token. Roanoke is going to come over. It's going to come like this. It's going to move L+S, and then Banshee's Cry. It's going to move L, L, S. Okay. All right. Hit the timer. All right. Spanish UPS is up. And this event, their Hidden Cove is a proxy. But we just pretend it's Hidden Cove. So both events, both Hidden Coves have been played now. So we're going to warp out Soul to the nearest unexplored wild island. So in this case, now this becomes the nearest unexplored. So I'm going to warp her out there, and they're going to reveal a helmsman and an explorer on Soul. Both Spanish, of course. She's going to redock by basically just going, she's going to do similar to the Amity. She's going to go L and then S to redock. They're going to explore the island, mark it explored, their token. Oh, jackpot. Holy hell. They almost win with this. This is wild. Okay, so they get 2 of the 5s they put in and 2 2s. So 14 total gold. Wicked good. And then Soul's ability. When the ship is given an explorer action, you can swap treasure on the island for a crew on any friendly ship. She doesn't have to load the treasure or the crew. So this 5 is going straight to the Coeur du Lion. And the Coeur du Lion's face down Spanish oarsman is going to go to the island. Soul is now going to use the free transfer rules to pick this up immediately, keeping it face down. Since it's an oarsman, it doesn't take up space. They tell that to the American Pirates, this crew doesn't take up space. American Pirates are like, okay, whatever. And then Coeur du Lion is now going to be given an explore action to explore the home island. She's already docked, so she can't explore automatically. So she either has to redock or be given an explore action to target the home island to unload the coin. She's also going to reveal Maurice Aristide when she does that. So 5, I'm going to put a 2 in from outside the game. So this is the power of UPS. So the Spanish UPS fleet already has 7 gold. So pretty crazy. Oh, and I think it goes face up, right? That's crazy. I haven't played with that rule in a while. Let me just make sure. I know this seems really basic if you always play the regular rules. But it's been forever. Docking a home island fort, you must unload all treasure worth gold points to free action. Pretty sure it's face up in 2-player games, but then face down in multiplayer, so whatever. Anyway, so yeah, 7 gold already for the UPS fleet. Oh boy, maybe I underestimated them. I feel like American Pirates 2 looks better on paper, but I mean, they're having a really good first turn, so we'll see what happens. And then Monarcha, She doesn't need to reveal any crew. I don't know if she wants to take this whirlpool. Probably, she might actually want to. Yeah, I think she might go there. Yeah, she's gonna try it. So 1, 2, 3. Flotilla doesn't slow her down, of course. She's gonna go. Probably gonna forget to use the white die for that other fleet, but whatever. And then she's gonna pop out right here. Gotta roll a die, see if she loses anything. So a 3. So in the official rules, that's good. Normally I have a house rule where that's bad, but anyway, so she doesn't lose a mass crew or treasure, and then Diablo can't. She doesn't have any of those things on her, so there's no point in rolling. So that's her turn. So, all right. So that turn took almost 4 minutes, but that's part of how UPS is kind of complicated, and there's a lot going on with it, so it's not too surprising. So, all right. So I think they're going to start with Banshee's Cry this turn. They need to stay the heck away from Diablo. This could get ugly. Monarca's totally going to be able to get Diablo in range on the Franco-Spanish turn, so whatever. So Banshee's Cry. American Pirates too, they need to get going. This game might not take long. So Explorer on Banshee's Cry. Market explored. Let's check out what they get. Yeah, they're finding a bunch of the zeros. This is exactly what the Spanish UPS fleet wanted. Even if they did find the zeros, they could plus them up, but this is even better for them. Okay, so Cry has room for 2 coins. She could free transfer dump the Houndsman, but the question is, can she get home in 2 turns if that's the case? And she cannot. She won't get home in 2 turns at L plus L speed if she dumps the Helmsman. So therefore, she'll keep it and just take. Oh, plus the other 2 are just zeros, so whatever. So she takes the 5 and the 2. So it's good to keep track of gold. I was going to pause it. I'm not trying to cheat with the American Pirates, but so this will be a thing, a recurring theme in the games you see me play, is it's really good to keep track of gold on each ship and where it all is. So like American Pirates, they have to memorize that there was a 0 there. They've got 6 on Amity. They've got 7 on Banshee's Cry, 13. So they know they need 3 more. So now it's like, where are the 3 going to come from? Are they going to steal them? Are they going to explore one of those 2 islands? So that's something to keep in mind here as we go along. So each fleet is definitely keeping their own score, and they're remembering, ideally, this is on me because I got to remember for both fleets, but at least I'm seeing it all, so whatever. So they need to remember what they've seen. So they know if the Spanish go there, they know what they're picking up. They're like, okay, I know they just loaded a 0, so there's no point in going after that ship and stealing it, unless they somehow steal Maurice Aristide, but that's somewhat unlikely. So, all right. Start the timer again for the American Pirates 2 fleet. So Amity is going to turn ghostly, and she's going to zoom over this Sargasso Sea without issue. She barely gets across, but anyway. She didn't really need, she could have just gone, it doesn't matter. But, well, ghostly prevents her being boarded, but, I mean, she's not realistically going to have that happen yet, so Roanoke, man. Roanoke's too far away to do anything this turn, which is brutal. She's probably going to have to sack to just to catch up, and especially because they know this is a 0. If this was good, they could dump an oarsman to load it, but they're not going to be able to. Not be able to do that, or there's no point in doing that anyway. They could go after the Coeur du Lion. That would be a fascinating move, but the problem is if they roll a 1 on the ram, they're fucked. So excuse my language, but they'd be messed up. So Roanoke's gonna. She might go the other way, actually. She might go this way on the island. Yeah, I'll try that. She's going to go L, S, and then she's going to sack, I guess. I don't know how else to do it. She does have 4 sack crew left. The problem is the game's going to end too fast. So she needs to start sacking. So they're going to reveal Captain Blackheart, and they're going to sack one of their 3 American oarsmen. So he's out of the game. And that allows Roanoke to move again. Wow, they're actually... She could almost get there, but she can't, so that's kind of awkward. Yeah. Could get ugly. think she's got to hit the UPS. That's the problem. That's the real problem right now. Diablo might hit Roanoke. Man, I don't know if I'm making some big mistakes in American Pirates. Probably Roanoke should have gone this way, actually. But you know what? Whatever. Okay. Let's keep going. So Spanish UPS fleet is up. So Seoul is probably just going to redock, re-explore. Yeah, she wants to send another 5 home. So might as well do that. So yeah, she's going to go way up here to try to stay out of the way. So she's going to go L. She has to move the base move first, and then bonuses after. S, and then she's going to use the galley stern turn to dock like that. And then she already knows what she's going to find here. So you're going to fling this 5 home in exchange for... Oh, and right before this happened, this Spanish oarsman was loaded via the free transfer rules onto core. So they fling the 5 home in exchange for the crew. So this goes home. Once they redock and explore, or redock, I should say, either one. So I'll put a 2 in from outside the game. So now they're at 14. So they only need 2 more gold to win. So, and then the oarsman is going to go on that island because Seoul is now full. She doesn't have any cargo space left. So, oh man, this is crazy. So that's one thing about the gold bonuses is they kind of warp the end game rules. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you can use like abilities to mess with how much gold is in play. Because now more than half, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask Wolf about this. I think I already know the answer is like you can use the gold bonuses to manipulate, let me just pause it, to manipulate the total treasure in play, and that does affect, you still only need 16, but like you could make a case that it's flawed where now there's 34 gold in play, so you should have to have 18 to win instead of 16. But anyway, it's not the case, I'm pretty sure, but I'll bring it up with Wolf just to see what he thinks of it too. Be interesting. So, okay, so continue Spanish UPS turn. Monarcha. So the question here is, should she could explore this island and hit Banshee's Cry, or she could go over here. I think she's going to slam Roanoke with the flotilla. Well, actually, no, because so the Spanish UPS fleet, they know they have an ace in the hole, which is Bianco's haulers. This ship can't be shot at while docked from Savage Choice on the Seoul. So even if the Roanoke reaches Seoul, she probably can't dismast her. At most, I think she'll be able to do 1 ram damage. So based on that, Monarcha's actually going to go and waylay this Banshee's Cry. Her goal here is to explore the island and let the flotilla shoot at the Banshee's Cry. So we'll see if that is a possibility. It might be kind of tough to get both, but we'll see. So she has 3S. She's going to go like that. This is coming with her. And then she uses the stern turn. She's going to have like 1 or 2 in range. Maybe 3, but I don't think... I also can't remember if you can use flotilla, use the stern turn with a flotilla, so I think I'm just going to not go to the island. I think she's just going to start trying to blast away. She's just going to try to get the best cannon ranges on Banshee's Cry. This is where my little straws will help out. So flotillas can shoot through their own bulk. So 1 cannon range. This one might be out, actually. This is really tight. That's out. It doesn't hit the jib. So, okay, they got 3, though. They got that one, and then this one they got in range, yeah. That's really tight, but yeah, they got 3 in range. 2 of them are the 2S's, and 1's a 3S. So I'll shoot the 2s first. They're probably going to... They might shoot to dismast, actually, not to sink. Yeah, they'll probably just dismast her. So a 2S... Okay, so Banshee's Cry loses her only mast. And, okay, so she has both crew revealed. So she doesn't have any face-down crew. Wow, that was really close. Holy shit. So, she has no face-down crew. So the Spanish know she doesn't have an oarsman. That's part of the reason they're going to leave her dismasted, because they can capture her or just do what they want with her later. So whatever. Okay, and that's their turn. Yeah, they unloaded. Okay, boom. All right. Yeah, I like how this is I'm probably gonna be able to decrease the timer. But anyway, so Amity is not ghostly, so she can unload her coins basically, can't dock when ghostly. So I don't know how she wants to dock. Probably, I don't think it's gonna matter much. She's gonna come in like that, and then she unloads coinage. So we know that's 6 total for the Pirates. Oh yeah, I gotta put face up too. It's weird to place gold face up on home islands. That's another host rule I'll probably implement, even for competitive play, is gold's probably gonna stay face down when loaded on home islands, but whatever. So Banshee's Cry is kind of messed up. Big decision is whether to build a fort. They still got to do Roanoke, so they'll do her next, but because they could plop a fort here with the gold they just unloaded to try to deter the Spanish, and that would also be a repair place for the Banshee's Cry to get her mast back up. But let's see how this goes first. So Roanoke, they don't know they have Bianco's haulers. They can assume that, but either way, they have to stop the soul immediately, or they're going to lose. Because the soul unloads one more coin, even if it's a 0, it's plussed up to 2 with Maurice Aristide, and then that's 16. So, and Roanoke she cannot get over here, L+S. She's not going to be able to ram or capture or anything the Coeur du Lion to disrupt that part of UPS, so she has to go straight to the head of the beast, so to speak. So, move L+S, Captain Blackheart, sacks another American oarsman, and oh, she can't even ram. Oh, that's devastating. Okay, she can't even ram. She's not there. She's like right here. She's got another 10 plus millimeters just to ram. All right. So in that case, that's really bad. It's pretty much over, I think. So Roanoke's gonna dock here because she doesn't have an explorer, so she can at least check stuff out. She knows that if any negative UTs, she'll just shoot first. So since she has captain and explorer, the controller of Roanoke gets to choose which order they happen in. So they're going to shoot first, and I think they only have 2 in range. They might have 3, but I'm not going to establish it because it doesn't matter. So the Spanish are going to flip Bianco's haulers. The ship can't be shot at while docked. So brutal. The Americans don't have a canceller, so they're just like, darn. They can't explore the island, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. They're going to load up that crew, actually. I think they have room. Well, actually, maybe not after this. So Roanoke reveals Explorer. I'm just going to bring up the deck plate just so you see what's going on in slightly more detail. So Perry, Blackheart, Helmsman, Explorer, take up space. That's 4. And then this will get us to 6. This is an oarsman, that last crew. So they don't have room to load that Spanish oarsman to maybe sack him next turn, but that's fine. But they can load both coins, so that's cool. Might as well. And then, so now they have to decide on the fort play. So they could even build a fort up there, but I don't think there's much point. Actually, this is really interesting. This really keeps the game alive because now the soul doesn't have any coins to send home. So this is, wow, this is tough. The Pirates know they need to get more home. They have, okay, this game just went from almost over to like potentially really complicated. So they have 6. They'd have to send 4 away. You can't make change for a fort. So either way, they'd have to send 4 away to build Dead Man's Point somewhere. I don't think they want to build the Devil's Maw. So if they send it here, they're not, basically Banshee's Cry could repair there. The key is Banshee's Cry has 7 gold. Roanoke has 4. The problem is they need both to get home to win. That's gonna be tough, but it's not impossible, especially because Soul, I don't even know what Soul's gonna do. Another advantage to building the fort in the north is, I gotta make a decision. The time's ticking down, but it's okay. I got more time than I thought I'd have. So advantage to building the fort in the north is you can't dock it islands with forts on them. So Soul becomes undocked, which means that she'd only be moving LS away from the island. So Roanoke could smash her next turn because she won't have anywhere to dock. she'll be kind of screwed. So you could screw Seoul over, but then you probably lose all this, which is a problem. I don't think they can afford to lose all this. I think Roanoke can deal with Seoul even without building the fort. I don't think they can salvage Banshee's Cry or her 7 gold if they lose this. So based on that, they're going to build Dead Man's Point. They're going to build this fort in the southwest. So this game is getting really interesting now. Now it's getting competitive. Because the Spanish are right on the brink of winning. They got 14, but now it's getting ugly. Seoul doesn't have any more points to flip home. Unless she steals one from Roanoke. Maybe that's the play. But it'd be really hard, though, because then she'd have to unload it at the island and then resend it. So Dead Man's Point is built. It's a 3 gold fort, but like I said, you can't make change. So they got to send 4. So this still counts. So it doesn't count towards the trigger of more than half gold. But if there is an endgame trigger, if the game does end, golden forts does count. Gold on ships will not count because it's not a multiplayer game. It's just a 2-player. So they essentially like kind of capture these 2 zeros, but they don't really care about them. So whatever. So the 4 gold goes to the fort there. And that's an end of turn thing. So that happens after all actions have been given, building a fort, so they can't repair yet. But anyway, so kind of an interesting salvage turn for the Pirates. It was looking real bad, but now Seoul doesn't have coins to send home, and then this could be interesting. So we'll see what the Spanish UPS do. All right, here we go. So Spanish UPS, man, they don't know what to do. Maybe they should get the 0, or they don't know it's a 0 because they never explored there. They might try to get that, bring that home. That's probably the move. Or they attack hard and try to sink the Cry, or destroy the fort and capture the Cry. They might actually do that, I think. This is tough. Yeah, this is where it becomes time consuming. So I gotta keep the timer in mind and not take forever. I guess Seoul might stay docked. She might just redock at a different point on the island. Yeah. Seoul could board Roanoke and try to steal the coin, but then per her ability, she'd have to unload. She probably won't win the boarding party anyway. And then per her ability, she'd have to unload it to the island, re-explore, and then send it home. That's like hyper unlikely against Roanoke. So at least I think so. So I don't think it's going to work. So she's going to redock to make sure she keeps the protection from Bianco's haulers. She's just going to go over here, use the galley stern turn, redock there in anticipation of making a run at that island if Roanoke departs the area, which she might because she's got gold she wants to get home. She can't just fling it home. So, and speaking of which, I got to try Roanoke with Captain Jack Sparrow. But anyway, that's for another game. So now Monarcha, they don't know what this coin is, but they don't, even if it's a 0, they can potentially get it home with Monarcha, give it to Kaur, and then she unloads it with Aristide's bonus to get them to 16. So do they think that's going to happen before the Pirates might get 16? I think the answer is yes. The problem is if they go hard here, they capture Banshee's Cry. It's hard to get her home. Monarcha doesn't even have a helmsman. They're probably not going to get a captured Banshee's Cry home with 7 gold. They do have the Whirlpool, that would help, but the other problem is the fort, obviously. Diablo, if Monarcha, we know where Monarcha is, so if she captures she could capture right here, and then Diablo would probably have, I think, 3 cannons in range, maybe all 4 of the fort. But if she misses even once or twice, that thing's going to start taking real damaging shots at Monarcha. I don't think it's worth it. The problem is they can't rely on Seoul or Kaur to get the final 2 gold they need. That's a real problem because Seoul is just kind of dead in the water. She's got to stay at that island for protection, and then if she goes there, Roanoke can just sack and catch up to her and smash her up on her route there. She's going to take 2 turns. At least they wouldn't take 3 turns, but she's going to get waylaid on the way there, most likely. They could see what Roanoke does, but I think since the Franco-Spanish are so close, I don't think it's worth trying to secure this gold. I think they should just try to rely on plussing up that coin. Because I think that could happen before the Pirates get 16. The Amity is the other factor. Could Amity interfere there? The answer is maybe, but Diablo is a really good deterrent in that case. So based on that analysis, the Spanish are going to head to this island and try to get that coin. That's their path to victory that they're seeing. So Franco-Spanish just completed their turn. American Pirates up next. So they're in a tough spot, but good news is Banshee's Cry can repair. So that's a big one. So that's going to get 7 more gold headed home soon. So they're working with 13, and then they have 4 on Roanoke. So they got 17. This is a race to get home right now. I think the clutch factor might be Roanoke intercepting Monarcha. But anyway, looking like pretty even times. It's probably like round 4 or something like that. Pretty even time so far, which is cool. Interesting to see what kind of fleets might disrupt that a lot. I think a swarm fleet would be difficult with the timer because you're moving so many ships. But anyway, I gotta stop bumping this thing. So Amity is probably gonna head to that island too. That's a tough one. No, because Diablo's gonna mess her up. That's the problem. This is a tough one. I think they might try to intercept with both ships. Yeah. Amity could come. She could try to go way over there, but it's going to take too long. I think the writing's on the wall that the game's going to end sooner rather than later. So the Pirates are working with 13 total. If Banshee's Cry gets home, of course. They either need to stop Monarcha and hopefully get Roanoke home. So, yeah. Roanoke wants more sack crew. That's what she really wants. The free transfer. Okay. That's not going to matter because she has 6 spaces. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm just thinking about stuff. So Amity is a tough one. It's Monarcha. She's got to stay out of Diablo's range. I got to use my measuring tools here. Thanks again to the amazing Captain Red Goat from PDXER for getting me this awesome measuring tool. So if Monarcha docks, we know where she is, so they can pre-measure all this. So she's probably going to dock like to. It's not. I wouldn't pick up your opponent's ship unless they're okay with it, but we know where she's going to be. So Diablo is probably going to be there. So I'm just trying to ballpark Amity where she can go and where she can't. So this is kind of like a 2S extended range from the flotilla where it's going to be able to shoot. So I don't know if Amity's going to be able to get in range if she does this, but I think she's just going to stay out of range. Yeah, I think I'll try that. This is like a whole nother game now. Because now we don't know. This is tough. Because I'm thinking if Amity goes there, Monarcha could pretend she's going this way and going home. But then she could actually reverse course, sink Banshee's Cry on the way southwest with Diablo, and then pop into the Whirlpool to come back out there. So it's going to be interesting to see if these Whirlpools backfire on the American Pirates, but they only have 14. I gotta keep they're under half time now, so they're okay. But yeah, there's no point in ramming Soul. I don't think they can ram twice anyway. So Roanoke is going to go L plus S. And I think she has to sack. Yeah, realistically, she only has 2 more sack crew before she has to sack the helmsman. So it's not very many. Well, Monarcha still has to come here and explore. So she's probably she'll do that, and then Roanoke can go and hit her. Oh man, this is tough. Monarcha might, based on the Roanoke threat level, I think Monarcha might head somewhere else. Anyway, so the Pirates are done. Okay, next fleet. So, yeah, Spanisher. That is an ugly situation right there in the middle. Monarcha is not going to be able to get there quick enough. She does have that ability. Once per turn, the ship may move S after loading treasure. Problem is, it's not going to be enough, I don't think. She can move S. So 1, 2, 3, stern turn, move S. They're gonna ballpark the stuff here too, based on where they anticipate Roanoke being. So Roanoke, L plus S, then L. Yeah, this is ugly for Monarcha. I don't think there's anywhere Monarcha can dock where she's going to be out of range of Roanoke, even with the plus, even with the S, move S away after loading treasure. And then even then, Amity might be in ramming range. So Monarcha might head somewhere else. This is tough. I wonder if she could get to the fog bank. Not quite. Yeah, this is sometimes what happens with UPS fleets. They get gold early, and then they get a really good start, and then it's hard to finish the game really well. They could build their own fort. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. I think that might be a good idea. They might build Pirates de la Mer in the middle, and then not come undocked. Okay. They go through the whirlpool. That's not going to help anything. I don't think they're going to go over there. Seoul is going to go over there. I don't think there's any point in having another ship go there. Yeah, I think the next ship to move will actually be the Seoul. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that next. So Seoul is going to go. Oh, the brilliant thing about this is now the Roanoke has to choose. Oh, this is crazy. This is where this gets fun. So Seoul is going to dock here, I think. Let me make sure. Oh, wow. She could last turn. I don't know. Hang on. Let me make sure she's taking a direct line. So L and then S. I think she just has to go a really direct line. Yeah. Okay. She's good. So Roanoke has to choose who to hit. If she hits Seoul, Monarcha might get back. If she hits Monarcha, which was what I was thinking about, Seoul is going to dock at that island and UPS a third coin. And there is another oarsman. There's another crew the core can fling out to Seoul. This is great. All right. So Monarcha. So I guess Monarcha, with that diversion, Monarcha feels pretty good docking here. I think they're still going to build Pirates de la Mer. But I don't know. They might not. I think they don't want to. They'd rather have Monarcha get hit. Because then Seoul is just, it's over. I think they're going to have to hit Seoul. Interesting. So Monarcha might dock in a certain spot because of that. I think the Franco-Spanish know that they're forcing Roanoke's hand here. Blackheart has to go west. He can't let Seoul fling another treasure home. It's over. It'd be over at that point. So based on that, Monarcha is going to be a lot more confident going over here. So 1, 2, 3, and then stern turn, I think. I think they can use the stern turn because flotilla just prevents bonuses, but stern turn is described as a final movement segment. So even though it's not L or an S, so I think she's good to use the stern turn with the flotilla. Anyway, so bring a Spanish explore this island because Monarcha does have Explorer, so now that's known to the American Pirates 2 fleet as well. Finds the 0. Not the best, but they don't really care too much because they know they can add 2 to the value and that'll be enough to win if they get it home. So, and then Diablo is not in range. Yeah, Amity did a good job staying out of range. I don't think she's in ramming range though. But yeah, she's not. All right. But that was the trade-off. I don't know. She'd rather stay alive than just get slammed this turn. Because if Diablo's in range, she's really going to do good damage. And Ghostly won't help with that because you can still get shot at. So, okay. I think Core is going to stay put. She might just redock a tiny bit, but whatever. Okay. They're done. So going into this round, both fleets have about a little over 13 minutes left in the game. It's going to get crazy when I don't have time to explain stuff as much and like I limit the time to like 20 minutes or less on purpose. It's going to be crazy, but that's when I'm really going to get into multiple games in a day too. Imagine like 3 competitive games in like an hour. It'd be great. Okay, so yeah, American Pirates, their hand is completely forced right now. They know it's a 0, but the problem is, so Monarcha is not going to get this coin home this turn at 3S, and she still has to transfer it to Cords to get the bonus. And they know Soul. They can measure and see Soul's going to dock. She's going to explore. And American Pirates didn't put any negative UTs in the mix that would prevent her from sending the coin home. So they know the writing's on the wall. The Spanish UPS fleet is going to win if Roanoke doesn't do this. So Blackheart's coming over for some fun here. It's not in range, so no shots on the first action. But they're going to sack. They're going to sack their Explorer, actually. American Explorer sacked by Kevin Blackheart. Third sack of the game. And then she's going to ram at the bow, I think. I think the best move here is to go like this, to try to cut off movement a little bit, and then try to get at least, looks like there's going to be 4 in range instead of 5, but that's fine. This is really tight. It doesn't hit the oars without crossing the mizzen mast, so 4 in range. And so Bianco's haulers doesn't help now. She's not docked. So Roanoke is going to go about astern. So 4S cannon start. Oh, nice. So 1 for 1, and then 3 Ls coming up next. So 1 for 2, 2 for 3. Okay, 2 for 3. Do they want to sink? I don't really see why not. Yeah, they might as well. Okay, so a miss. So 2 for 4. So 2 for 4. I'm going to stop the timer real quick. That's kind of, I don't know if I'm always going to do that, but I'm just going to stop it for the mast removal. I mean, I guess I don't need to, but whatever. If it wasn't a solo game, you know, the person would just continue their turn, and then the other player would take the mast out, obviously, so whatever. All right. So timer back on. Oh, board. Oh, yeah, duh. The Americans have coins. They don't want to board. The Spanish do. They don't have much to lose. So Roanoke starts at 5, Soul at 0. So Americans, or American Pirates, and then Spanish. Let's see. Roll both at once. I'm going to re-roll that because that's not, can't determine. Okay, so 7 to 4. So 2 and 4. So 7 to 4. American Pirates win. So Spanish have to kill a crew. They're going to, I think they'll kill off the oarsman, I guess. Actually, wow, the Americans maybe capture the Soul and use UPS. I don't know. This is weird. Problem is the Spanish can't. Yeah, that does wreck their chances. I think just in case they can somehow get their 2 turns from now, they're gonna toss the oarsman. They lose the oarsman. So Spanish oarsman out of the game. And now get to Banshee's Cry, who's just gonna zoom home with her 7 total gold here. And then she could put it in the fort. Oh, actually, she could redock, put it in the fort, like over here, and then try to go that way. I don't think she wants to, because the problem is the Pirates have to trigger an endgame condition, but they have a fort. So they'd have to get gold home to trigger that condition, unless they eliminate the Franco-Spanish, but I don't see that happening. At least not in the time allotted. So Amity can't quite ram. Very close, but she can't. So she's gonna have to brave Diablo. I don't know. Yeah, she's the one that has to make the stop now. Roanoke made 1 stop. Now Amity has to make the other. But that's going to be really tough because Diablo is inevitably able to get shots in. Amity's got to make a move. She can at least head towards core, but yeah, this is a tough one for the American Pirates to win. So Fort doesn't have any shooting, so go to the Spanish, bring up Spanish fleet. Soul is not in docking range of either island, so she's just gonna. She could ram actually. She might ram. Yeah, she might do that. I think. Actually, I have a. I think I have a rules question. I'm gonna pause it just to make sure I know what's happening here. just like I thought. So per the official rules, after a ship with at least one mast resolves a move action. So Soul doesn't have any masts. So it's kind of a weird rule. Witch and I kind of don't like it, but whatever. So Soul can't ram, so she's just gonna head to that island as best she can. I gotta unpause it. So Spanish UPS fleet has more time on the clock, but I think I'll just have enough time for both fleets either way. I think it's almost over. We'll see. So Monarca is gonna get Diablo real close here to Amity. Oh, I guess Amity is ghostly. I didn't. Well, it's too late to say that. I guess. Whatever. I guess she's not. But all right. Actually, she probably wouldn't be, in case Monarca rammed her, and then Amity could take the coin. I guess they would want to stay on ghostly for that. So anyway, so Diablo has all 4 pretty much point blank range, just about. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice at once here. So I'm gonna do the twos first. So I need 3s or higher. All right. So 1 for 2. And then, so that's 1 mast. Now the 3s. Oh, that's probably it. So 3 hits, 3 for 4. Diablo smashes Amity. And let's take these out real quick. And that's realistically going to give the Franco-Spanish the win, I'm pretty sure. So we'll play it out, but it's probably going to be it. So, whoopsie. Okay. All right. Okay. It's been a pretty good game, though. It's pretty interesting stuff going on. I mean, the Pirates are going to have a decent gold total, American Pirates. We're about to get Banshee's Cry home. Yeah, I guess that's it for their turn. So American Pirates are up next. Trying to think, they can't really do much. Amity doesn't have an oarsman. They wouldn't be able to ram anyway, per the rule we just saw. So Amity's screwed. She can't do anything. Roanoke probably can't do enough. Oh, unless? Okay. Oh, this is crazy. So if Banshee's Cry gets her gold home, they'll have enough gold on their home island and build another fort on that island. Oh, this is... Okay, the time error might matter a lot. Okay, this this is why... So this is why I love competitive play, and also why I love forts, because they extend the game, but in a really fun and strategic way. Some people might roll their eyes or not like them for various reasons, and some people don't want the game to be extended, which is fair. But I freaking love forts, and I love using them. I think they spice up competitive play a lot in a really worthy way. Like, they're just awesome. So they're probably okay. Oh, the problem is they didn't sack. I think they have time though. They sacked their explorer, and they got to capture that soul now. Yeah, they're absolutely going to do that. This is really funny. Okay. I think the Spanish are about to regret eliminating their oarsmen, because that would prevent capture, but now it won't. So basically, Roanoke, she sacked her explorer. I know it's a little off camera, but so therefore, Roanoke normally would just dock and explore. Oh, she could sack and explore this turn. She might do that. This is hilarious to me. I think we might have a all gold accounted for game. It just depends on... this is wild. They might as well sink the soul, I guess. They could send gold home with her, though. So okay. So the American Pirates need to figure out... The timer is going to matter, too. They can't even touch. Oh, Core can go this way, actually. Core goes here. She'll be like right there. So 1, 2, 3. She'll probably be able to touch. So that would be 2 turns. 2 more turns before that happens. The Pirates got to make a decision. It's like a dock and explore, pulling the gold out, and then build the fort this turn, or capture soul and use her later. Or actually, I think they can do both. If they move to capture, sack to get here, soul hasn't been in action. She can redock and explore. Okay, that's the move. All right, here we go. So capture soul. Soul becomes part of the pirate fleet. No oarsmen. The galley keyword doesn't prevent the capture. Roanoke Sachs, the final American oarsman she has. She can move S+S now. Sol automatically gets docked at the island. She has not been given an action this turn. So she has helmsman, so she can move S, redock. She has an explorer. And now they explore this island for the American pirates. We can see the coins. Sol can actually fling one home. So I guess she might as well. This is crazy. Okay, so yeah, give an explorer action. Swap the 2. Yeah, she's going to swap the 2 for the explorer, the pirate explorer on Banshee's Cry. That explorer goes to the island. The 2 goes to Banshee's Cry, who has not... So she's already been given an action. Banshee's Cry can't get an action here. And they're going to build Dead Man's Point, I'm pretty sure. Or should they bother? There's only 3 gold there. This is weird. Yeah, I guess they should. All right, that's fine. Yeah, the timer is really going to affect things here. I'm gonna pause it. Hang on, I can't find the fort. So all right. So the pirates are going to end their turn by building Dead Man's Point. Okay, here we go. Sorry, the Devil's Maw. That's what I meant to say. Obviously, they've already built Dead Man's Point. So, Devil's Maw Fort. This is a 5 gold fort. So we're going to use the 5 here. Pirates are do is to claim this gold. So in case, if the Franco-Spanish end it, they'll have the gold in the forts will count if we do a coin count. So 5. So yeah, so they only secure 1 extra gold by doing that, but whatever. So many zeros. All right, so now all the islands have been explored. And then I think I'm going to take this off the base just to make more sense. I'm going to go like that, and then like that. Devil's Maw in the American pirate fleet. Okay. So that was their actions. So we got to switch to the Spanish first and then unpause it. Okay. So they got way more time. So they don't really need it though, funny enough. They're the ones that don't need the time now. So I think Core is going to be given the first action this turn. So she's going to redock. She should have redocked last turn in anticipation of this. And it would have, well, I guess it would take almost, well, yeah, it would take 1 less turn. But I don't think it's going to matter. 1, 2, 3. Stern turn to touch. But neither one has an extra action that they can use to explore the other. So that's basically their turn. So they're going to hit the timer. So the Pirates, I want to calculate what they have real quick. They got to see. They got to make sure. I guess it won't matter. They have 4. Man, this is where I'm going to have to do some post-game analysis. So they have 4, 8. And then, Roanoke just needs to deposit her coins. They have 8. And then there's 6 in the Devil's Maw. So that's 14. And then the Roanoke is going to deposit 4, which would be 18. Banshee's Cry is going to deposit 2, which would be 20. So they should win. The problem is the Franco-Spanish shouldn't end the game then. This is where it gets really awkward, but whatever. This is going to be fascinating. I don't even know what's going to happen. So Sol is going to, maybe she's going to send a coin home probably. Yeah. Sol is going to be given an explore action, and she is going to send home a 1 because gold is safer on home islands than forts. So she's going to use her ability, send this 1 to the Banshee's Cry. Banshee's Cry helmsman comes out here to this island. Now Banshee's Cry is given an explore action targeting the home island to unload these. So now they have 7 gold on their home island instead of 4. And then Roanoke is going to redock, and she's going to unload her 4 coins, or 2 coins worth 2 each. So now they have 9, 4, and 7. So they got 20. The problem is not all gold has been unloaded, so that's why the game doesn't end. And then she's going to pick up the Helmsman Explorer because now she has more room. So Roanoke's going to pick up those, and that's their turn. I'm going to pause it just to show you Roanoke's deck plate. So she's sacked. This is crazy. So she's sacked like 4 crew or 3. Yeah, 4 total, I think. And then now she has both of Banshee's Cry original crew here. So pretty funny. She just has the extra helmsman in case she wants to sack it, basically. So yeah. So the Pirates, I'm just going to do a little recap. So Pirates have more gold, and all gold is technically in a fleet, one or the other fleet's possession, but the endgame rules say all available gold has been unloaded home islands. Fort gold is still available because forts can be destroyed, islands re-explored, gold taken home. So that's why it doesn't end. And then obviously both fleets can still be given future move actions, so that endgame trigger is not the case either. Yeah, this is an interesting situation. Then of course the regular endgame condition is more than half starting gold, but neither fleet has more than half starting gold. So it's one of those funny games that takes longer. Okay, so I got to start the timer for the Spanish. They have some time to think here. It's really ugly. They have to basically send Monarca out to see if they can destroy one of the forts. Yeah, that's their move. And then hope the Pirates time out. This is crazy because the timer could really matter. So they are going to, Kawar is going to explore Monarca, and she's going to take the 0, and she's not going to do anything with it. Because they know, I didn't really keep track properly, but if I was doing like really meta, the Franco Spanish would absolutely know how many gold the Pirates must have. Because they've basically gotten that much, and they've added however many to the game. So they already know. They basically know that they brought home, what they know is that they brought home 10. And they plussed up 4, but they only have 10 out of the original 30. So they know the American Pirates, essentially between their forts and ships, they have possession of the other 20. So they know they're down right now, 20 to 14, and they know they can only plus up to 16. So they should not end the game, especially because they have more time available. They should try to time out the Pirates. So now with their coin off, Monarca is free to go through this whirlpool and hit this fort, I think. Well, I know it's probably a suicide mission, but they got to at least try to win. So the problem is this fort is too well protected. So I think they're going to play for a tie. I know that's kind of lame, but it's a tough one. I mean, if I tie, I'll definitely play another game to see who wins. I might do that anyway. These fleets seem more evenly matched than I thought. So yeah, Monarca, problem with going there is it's not going to work. Diablo's not going to be able to get enough hits. As soon as the Monarca comes through here, Roanoke's going to sack and smash her. Here, there's at least a slight chance Monarca can get both of the good coins from that island, and maybe a 0 as well, and then bring them home. Actually, she wouldn't even need both. All they need to tie is one more coin that gets plussed up with Maurice Aristide to tie 20 to 20. So, but I don't think they're going to get there, but whatever. Got to at least try for it. So, yeah, so if they get, this is fine. This is the right decision for the Spanish for sure. So they're going to come through here. So if they get both of these 2s, destroy the fort, get both 2s home, even if one gets plussed up, they can get to 22 total because they'd get 16 on the way. The problem is the timing is going to be really ugly. I don't think it's going to work either way, actually, because if Aristide unloads, he has to unload each coin individually. But as soon as he unloads one of them, it triggers the more than half endgame condition. So they're kind of screwed either way, I think. But so not in range. So Monarca, Whirlpool. That's actually bad. because there's no house rules here. So Monarcha, that kind of hurts actually. She'll probably lose. She can't really afford to lose anything. All right, and she can't dump Anita Amor, the ransom crew, because it has to be eliminated by an enemy action. Can't just toss her overboard. It'd be too easy to avoid the negative of ransom. So she's gonna lose a mast. She needs the explorer to explore the island like really fast after the fort gets potentially destroyed. And I think she needs the oarsman too. I don't know. That's a tough call. So actually, maybe she'll probably toss the oarsman, but nah, whatever. That's fine. They're not gonna win, I don't think. Anyway, they want to time out the pirates actually, so I gotta hurry up. Banshee's Cry. I guess she'll come over to try to ram. Yeah. Banshee's Cry. Roanoke. This is the key. Roanoke is going to sack the Banshee's Cry pirate helmsman. And then come over here and smash stuff up. Yeah, because the American pirates have no gold on their ships, which is really good. So they need to eliminate that. I think I'm going to go right there. Pirates need to hurry the hell up. So first 3 cannons at Diablo. So the white one is the 4S and then the 3L for the others. So 1 for 2. They got another 3L shooting at Diablo. They miss, so the flag is intact. They don't have a 4th in range. But this one's in range of Monarcha. That one's not. So 3L at Monarcha. Okay. That sucks for them. Well, at least they have the oarsmen. So, and then Pirates, they're going to repair Soul. Because why not get her back in the fight? They only have 1 minute left, so they're done. Okay. All right. So Franco Spanish. Gonna try to destroy this fort. Yeah, still losing effort, but we'll just play it out real quick. So Diablo, gonna have the 2s first. So 2S cannons shooting at the fort. 2 for 2. And then the 3S's. Okay, 2 hits. So Dead Man's Point loses a couple flags. Still got 2 left. Core, no reason to do anything. Put the timer back on the Pirates. And then, yeah, Roanoke's going to come in and try to... Well, no, fort first. 2 shots at Diablo from Dead Man's Point. Both are 3Ls. 1 minute. Ah, man. All right, so a miss, so nothing on the flag. Roanoke is going to come LS. First shoot action. 3 3Ls at Diablo. That's the flag. This would sink it. Okay, flotilla sunk to sink Monarcha with the 4S. Misses. They're done. They're done. They don't have time to sack. So and do another action. So they can't get timed out. Okay, so Spanish are up. But they're screwed. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to really do. I think Spanish are gonna. Monarcha can't even. She's just got to row out of the way. Yeah, she's just gonna pretend to row home. She can't ram. She can't shoot the fort. So that's gonna be it. So Coeur du Lion is gonna. They have no real shot. They could send Coeur with the coin after the fort or the other fort, but that's an even worse suicide mission than they just went on. So they're just gonna end it. They're just gonna maximize their gold score. So 0, and then +2. So Aristide pluses up a 3rd and final coin. So we're gonna end with 36 gold in play. And there you go. So there you have it. So 16 gold is finally on a home island. So the Franco-Spanish triggered the endgame condition of more than half the starting gold. They did get that much, but they still lose because forts count for the actual count. They don't count towards the endgame condition getting triggered, but they count for the gold count. Total value of all treasure on their home islands and in their forts. So we'll just peek at it just for kicks. So we got 9 gold in Devil's Maw. Got all these zeros. Got 4 gold in Dead Man's Point. That's 13. 13 plus 7 on their home island is 20. So there you have it. So the American Pirates 2 wins the game 20-16. And that was really good. I don't know. I have to admit, this is actually better than I expected. With 12 seconds on the clock for the Pirates and almost 5 minutes for the Spanish. So, yeah. I think the American Pirates had more tough decisions, especially in the early mid-game. They really had to use Roanoke effectively. But yeah, those fort plays were clutch. Even if the Franco-Spanish had built Paradis de la Mer here when Roanoke was in here, I don't think it would have helped. So there wasn't really any gold to secure there. It's tough. So UPS had a really good start. They were able to get that middle coin home and plus it up to get more than half, but it wasn't enough. By that time, the Pirates had more than half. So, oh man, this was great. So I'd be curious to know what you think of this game. I'm definitely going to do quite a bunch more, especially with how great this was. Really big fan of the timer. It really affected the Pirates. They would have sunk Monarca or whatever there, but I didn't have time to sack. The time was running out. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do the 1 shoot action. Luckily, it was enough. But so yeah, the Pirates were cutting it close on time, but they were able to make things work. So this fort place to secure the gold really helped. So yeah, really interesting actually. It's funny how they captured the Soul and then used UPS in their own fleet because Banshee's Cry had crew available to fling out there. So it didn't really matter much, but because the Franco-Spanish weren't realistically going to destroy the Devil's Maw anyway. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'll be fascinated to hear your comments. I don't know. Question of the day is, which do you think is the better fleet? I know the American Pirates 2 won, but I mean UPS had them in a stranglehold for a while. They were a coin away, like almost the entire game, but they couldn't make it work properly. They couldn't get that last coin home fast enough. It was kind of clutch that Roanoke explored here when Bianco's haulers was flipped. Sure, it was a big moment for the Spanish to be happy about, but then Roanoke had the Explorer, so she was able to prevent Soul from flinging coins home, which meant they'd have to get a coin from elsewhere, which took a while. And then by the time they had that coin home, the Pirates had actually established enough board control to be in control of more coinage. So they had the gold advantage at that point. It's really fascinating game mechanic how forts don't trigger the end game condition, but they do count in the final gold count. So I think it's really interesting. So yeah, this was a really good competitive game. I'm super happy about it. And it was a great start. Really tight finish. It was exciting throughout. I liked how there was like ups and downs too, where it looked like the Spanish UPS fleet would kind of dominate, but then things started to turn. Things started turning, and then the forts started popping up, and then the Pirates used their combat advantage towards the end to finish it out. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. There's always some affiliate links in the description if you want to support the channel and Pirates with Ben and help me do more of this over time. Feel free to buy from eBay from the links. And thanks again for watching. Love to hear what you think of this, what kind of fleets you'd like to see, what kind of games you'd like to see. And definitely going to try to do this live, YouTube live it at least once, see how that goes, go from there. And I'll be doing some different build totals too, but this is like the core game. And it's really tough to resist. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in more videos.